Hey everyone. Sorry I'm a few minutes late here to the live, but still here. Welcome to episode 16 of the Purl Passion podcast. I hope you guys have had an awesome 2 weeks since I last went live. I just want to thank everybody for watching my video last time, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Purl Passion, or Facebook. I'm on there as well as at Purl Passion. So I'm going to get right into it, I guess. It's kind of been a crazy couple of weeks. Crazy, not eventful, but busy anyway. My son was started preschool full time, so he goes to school 4 days a week in the afternoons, so that we had to kind of get a routine going for that. So that's been good. We kind of finally got a routine down pat, and I think we're starting to get into a little bit of a groove of, the school day and, getting everything readjusted to the fall, I guess. September's always a wash like that. You kind of takes you a whole month to get back into the groove of school and activities and, all that fun stuff when you have kids or a husband who's in school. I almost feel like I have 3 kids instead of 2 because my husband goes to school because he's a teacher. Not because he's a student, but because he's in school because he's a teacher. So yeah, my life revolves around the school year, and probably always will. But yeah, like I said, it's been just a couple of weeks of trying to get a routine down and figure everything out and try and get my baby napping, which isn't going great, honestly. I'm really hoping she pops a tooth through tonight because we got maybe 2 hours of sleep last night and maybe an hour of naps today, so it's been rough. She's currently upstairs with her dad. She's content but not sleeping. So we're gonna see how that goes. I don't know if she's gonna stay content for very long, but we're gonna try and see if I can podcast anyway. She may have to come down and visit. But yeah. So I've been doing a lot of dyeing. I did quite a bit of knitting too, except for I don't have a lot to show for it because I ended up doing a lot of frogging as well. So yeah, I guess I'll jump into what I have to show you guys. For finished objects, I don't have any finished objects that are really new. I brought my sweater to show you guys, just because last podcast I was wearing it instead of holding it up. So yeah, it turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. It is the So Faded sweater, except for the sleeves I didn't follow the pattern for the sleeves. It is made out of all Direwolf Yarn Co. yarn. And it's basically just a basic raglan with this detail on the edge side of the sleeves. There's like some garter there on both sides of the sleeve. But yeah, and it has like a kind of like a U-neck, I guess you'd call that, not a V-neck. Oh, sorry, got a tickle in my throat. I'm not sick. I hope. I guess I should knock on wood. It's not a very safe thing to say anymore. I'm gonna find wood. There we go. I don't want to jinx it. I just have a tickle in my throat, I think. But yeah, I picked up the collar after the fact and knit that ribbing. But yeah, it turned out really awesome. It's like my favorite sweater right now. And even though it's made out of fingering weight yarn, it's still super warm, which I'm really happy about because I'm always cold. But yeah, I really love it. And that was my most recent finished object. But I was wearing it in my last podcast, so I'm kind of cheating there. But as far as works in progress, I started, I think I had showed you just the cast on basically of last week. Of what or last podcast 2 weeks ago, of what I'd started podcasting, or what I've started knitting. But I did end up getting all the way. I did the whole raglan sleeves, and I separated for the sleeves, and I started the body. You can see a picture of it on my Instagram if you go on there and look. It didn't go well. It started off bad. I did a swatch. The yarn is dyed by me, so I was happy with the yarn, and my husband okayed it because he's kind of picky about these things. So I did my gauge swatch. Everything worked out perfectly. I went my two neat little sizes down, like the pattern calls for. And this pattern that I'm following is the flax pattern by Tin Can Knits. So I did my ribbing for the collar there, and being a sleep deprived dummy, being sleep deprived, I forgot to change needle sizes. So I knit the entire top part of the sweater in a size 6 instead of a size US 8. So yeah, I put it on my husband, and it was tight. And he was like, well, it's kind of tight. Like, he's doing this a lot. And like, he's like, I'm in school, and I'm using my arms a lot. I'm like, okay. Fine. But I also wasn't happy because I was going to pull out part of it anyway. Because when I started my second skein, when I got to the body, was doing some crazy pooling, just because, hand-dyed yarn. And it was kind of looking something funky. There was like a big gray patch on the bottom, and my husband was not impressed. I was like, it's a design element, and he wasn't going for it. He's like, no, I don't like that. I'm like, fine. So anyways, I ripped the whole thing out, and then I restarted it. So it's going better now. I remember to switch to my size 8s. I just finished doing the increases for the sleeves. It's hard to see because I have it on these needles. And I'm a weirdo. I know you guys probably saw a couple podcasts back that I got a new set of Chigu. I still don't know how to say that. I should really learn how to say that. Needles, which I really, really love. I'm obsessed with them. They're fantastic. But my only problem is that they didn't come. Like, I've been using knit pick sets, and I had longer cables and connectors for them because I've kind of been collecting things over the years. So when I was knitting a sweater, I would just unscrew one of the needles, screw on a super long, like screw on a connector, and then screw on a super long cord, and then screw on a stopper at the bottom. So basically I just had a really long cord with a stopper on it and a connector that I just kind of screwed on every time I wanted to try on a sweater. And then I just put it on, and then I'd be able to try it on, and then just pull that cord out and go back to my one I like to knit on. I'm kind of weird. I like to knit on really small circles. I like to have my stitches really bunched in there. I don't know why. I find it quicker and easier I like my stitches to move for me instead of having to move them. They kind of just push. So yeah, like my stitches are like practically like falling off this needle because I really should be switching to a bigger cable soon, but we'll see. But yeah. What was I saying? Oh man, 2 hours of sleep is not good for a person. But yeah, I'm going to, the set that I have it does come with connectors. But even when you connect the 2 longest cords, that go with the size 8s, you still can't try the sweater on. And I know you can, like, technically there's holes in these needles, so you can thread yarn through here and then pull it onto the yarn, which is what I did. But then when you go to put it back on, you have to make sure you pick up every stitch and put back on the needle kind of thing, which takes, like 5 minutes. I'm just lazy. So I am going to order. I did find out that you can get needles for these sets that are like, I think they're 40 or 50 inches long. So I'm going to get some connectors, one of those really long cables, and an extra stopper at the back, so that I can just have that in my bag so that every time I want to try on a sweater, I like to knit sweaters, and I like to try them on, and I like to try them on frequently because I get anxiety because I think this doesn't look like it'll fit my husband. This doesn't look like it'll fit my husband. So then, like every 5 rows, I make him try it on. So I do it a lot because I want to make sure that I'm getting the fit right as I go. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to order those super long cables so that I just have one in my bag that I can always just screw on and try on sweaters with whenever I need to. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to order. I found somewhere that sells them, so I'm going to order online. I tried getting from my local yarn store, but they're all out of them. So yeah, I'm going to go online and see if I can order some of those just that way. Yeah, it's so much easier. I just don't like having to use scrap yarn and put it on scrap yarn. I just like to be able to screw up the cables, run a new one, and expand her out really far. But yeah, that's my sweater saga. So hopefully this one goes a little better than the last one. I have started my second ball of yarn. What I did was I started alternating skeins. So I did like the increases without alternating, but then once I finished the increases for the sleeves, I started alternating skeins. And I'll probably alternate skeins just for a little bit, just so that the skeins kind of blend together a little bit, because they're not exactly perfect. I dyed them myself, and they were my first sweater quantity of yarn that I ever dyed. These are the other two I have, so like I go with it. I just haven't. There's two. Honestly, this is how organized I am these days. They're still like this, and they still have the zip tie on them from when I dyed them. So yes, they're still hanging in my dye room on the zip ties. But I have 2 of them skate up. I have 4. I don't think I'm going to have enough to do the whole sweater. I think I may end up doing like kind of like a cut at the waist, and then doing the bottom just in a solid navy blue, and then the bottom part of the sleeve just to match, which my husband has decided he's okay with, because he's a very, I have to be careful how I say this. He's kind of a conservative dresser. He doesn't like to break the rules. He likes to stick to the status quo. So he's very much like a jeans and t-shirt or dress pants and polo kind of guy. You can't wear sneakers with shorts, or you can't wear sandals with jeans. You have to wear black socks with shoes. And yeah, he has very strict rules when it comes to dressing. When he wears dress shirts, they have to be ironable, and he has to iron the creases into them properly. He's just, I don't know. He's kind of picky about weird things like that. He's a little bit of a perfectionist in some things. Funny, eh? Because I don't have that tendency at all. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. I'm the biggest perfectionist on the planet. It's awful. Yeah. So that is my work in progress currently. I am also planning on, I have already made one of these. Did I show it to you? I think I showed it to you guys. I don't have it right here. I think my son actually was wearing it this week. But I made one for my son. It's a green color, and it's the flax. So I'm also going to make one for me and Al. But I'm going to do it out of my new yarn collection. So I'm going to do all 10 colors, and I'm going to do stripes. Because I think it would be just a cool thing to have somewhere, for the rest of my life. My first yarn collection all in one sweater, because then it can just be a sampling of the sweater, or sampling of the collection all in one sweater, which, I don't know, it might be a very loud sweater, but I think it's kind of cute. And of course I have to make one for Ellery, because the collection is named after her. So, and if you haven't seen my Instagram and you don't know what I'm talking about with my collection, do not fear, although I'm sure you weren't afraid in the first place. Yeah, do not fear. I'm about to show it soon. After I put away my work in progress here. So yeah, that's my work in progress. And I'm going to, so yeah, I dyed up, I have 10 colors in my collection. I dyed up a skein of worsted weight in every color. One, I really messed up and used the wrong dye. So it has turquoise instead of blue in it. But I have to fix that one. But yeah, other than that, They're all done. I have to ball them up. I'm going to knit up just like a gauge square sample so that when I do end up opening my Etsy store, which is going to be in the new year, I will be able to post pictures um, of how it knits up. Because I find that when I buy yarn, I really like when dyers have pictures of how it looks when it's knit up, because sometimes it's really hard to tell when you look at a skein of yarn. The skein of yarn is beautiful, but then kind of sometimes, those beautiful skeins of yarn that look beautiful all skeined up don't necessarily translate to what you're knitting. If you know what I mean. Sometimes when you get those, you get like mini striping, or, if that's not what you're looking for, then, you like to know that before you purchase yarn. So yeah, I'm going to knit up a little swatch in each one, and then I'm going to knit a sweater for me and a little tiny sweater for Ellery, because we have to match. I actually don't have any, I know a lot of moms have like matching clothes for them and their daughter. I don't have any of that, and I really should. My daughter, that sounds like something I would be love to do, but I guess my daughter has a lot of really nice clothes, and I just can't be bothered to buy nice clothes for myself, so I don't really care. I posted on my Instagram story about half an hour before I started the podcast that I was going to fix my hair. And just to be clear, I did technically take the ponytail out, put the ponytail back in, and then put the headband on to cover the fact that I tried to put a bunch of dry shampoo in there, and then it kind of looked a little gross. So yeah, I did fix my hair. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know. I don't like being able to. I hate when I'm doing this because I can see myself and it makes me feel self-conscious. I feel like when I'm actually talking to a person, I don't see what I look like talking to them, and that makes me feel better. I don't know why, but yeah, there's something self-conscious about watching yourself talk to yourself. Even though out there somewhere there's actual other people watching this, but yeah, in my dye room there's just me. Yeah, so that is what I have planned. I'm going to do the 10 swatches, and I'm going to do 2 more flax sweaters with the collection colors, which I'm excited about. I also have a scarf that I have to cast on for my son. I'm kind of iffy about, he says he wants a scarf, but I've heard a story once about, I know this is awful, and I know this is not exactly what you want to hear, but I heard a story about someone who a child who choked with a scarf because they got it stuck on a fence. Anyways, I don't want to go into that, but it scared me. So now I'm scared to knit my son a scarf, but maybe I'm just being paranoid. I don't know. He's 4. He's not like a baby anymore, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll try and convince him to let me make him something different. Hat or mittens or something. But yeah, it's the yarn that I got from, oh, my computer's alerting me of something. Go away. I don't want to update my software. I'm currently live on YouTube. It should know that. Yeah, so I have the Gauge Dye Works yarn that I bought in their really awesome solar system colorway that I'm going to make for my son because he's obsessed with space. But yeah, I'm going to cast that on eventually too. So yeah, I got a lot of plans. Plus I have a design project that I have to be working on that I have set a deadline to finish by Christmas. So I have to get that in the works too. So I got lots planned. I also have another collection. I had said in the beginning, my goal was to make a collection of yarns that represent my daughter and a collection of yarns that represent my son. So as you can tell, this collection is very, florally, lots of brights, pinks, blues, yellows. It's very little girl clothes, but those are the colors that I tend to like. So it was kind of the one that I wanted to start with. But I am going to make something that's a little bit more my son. I don't want to say feminine and masculine because that's not okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with any color for any gender or non-binary for that matter. But yeah, my other collection is going to be a little bit darker, not quite as in your face as this one is my plan anyways. We'll see how it turns out. a little bit more dark and moody is what I'm going for. So I'm going to have like a bright, happy one and then a kind of a dark, moody one. So yeah, I guess I should just get to showing you the collection then. I'm not sure exactly how many people are watching this live, but if you're watching this live, hi. And if you're watching it later, then that's awesome too. But yeah, I'm going to show you my collection, which I've called Ellery's Closet. And my intent is to eventually open an Etsy store. Probably in the new year. I'm just kind of preparing. Right now, I kind of feel like I'm not really, I don't know, I guess, not really professional enough to necessarily open an Etsy store. I kind of feel like I just need practice dyeing and doing repeat colors and kind of just getting the feel for things, right? So I'm not ready to quite start selling the yarn yet. I've been kind of just like giving some to friends or trading with other dyers or, just kind of, giving or selling it to friends of friends kind of thing, doing exchanges, that kind of thing, thus far. But I do plan on having all of this available for sale eventually. You're just going to have to bear with me and let me kind of feel out dyeing and get a handle on things and do some practicing. That being said, if anything, I do have some like one-off colors and stuff that I've done that if anybody's interested in, let me know and we can maybe work something up. But yeah, I guess I will start by telling you that, my collection is called Ellery's Closet. It is a collection of yarn that I have been inspired by my daughter, who is 7 months old, and her clothes that she's been wearing since she was born. So without further ado, I will show you the article of clothes that's inspired me, plus the color that I came up with to go with it. Which, if you've followed me on Instagram, you've already seen all the pictures, but now I'm going to show it to you live. So I'm going to start with what I call Floral Onesie, which is one of my favorite little onesies that Ellie wore. It is now too small for her, but I'm definitely keeping it because I made a yarn color named after it. It's just a little floral onesie. It's got pinks and blues in it, and I just think it's really pretty. This is the colorway that I came up with to go with the shirt, which I apologize again. The lighting down here is not very good, and I broke my ring lamp. There it is in all its glory. It's got some navy blues, some lighter blues, and some specks of spots of pink, little bits of pink. So I've been doing a lot of dyeing of that one, actually. This is how it looks like when I order yarn from Knit Picks. I'm not particularly a fan of how their yarn comes skeined up. I find that the skeins are too small. So when you try to skein them up and twist them up, they kind of just look really bulky, and I don't like the look of those. So after I've dyed the Knit Pick skeins, I've then been reskeining them. So this is what the colorway looks like once it's reskeined, which there is pink in there. You just can't really see it on this camera for some reason. I will post pictures of it. This is a skein that I did up for a friend. So, and if you want to see it, I've also, I was very busy, like I said. I also did a sweater quantity on bulky yarn for another friend. That's a lot of yarn. It's not perfectly dry yet. I haven't wanted to put it outside just because it's been smoky here, and I don't want my yarn to smell like smoke, because who does? So I've been drying it inside, and it turns out it takes a long time to dry yarn inside when you don't have like a spin dryer or like, I don't know, what do people use to dry their yarn? I don't know. I just hang it. I just wring it out. Well, not wring it out, but I just kind of squeeze the water out of it and then hang it over something. It just drips and dries eventually, but it does take a long time, especially when there's lots of it and it's bulky. But yeah, this is some sweater quantity. I have realized that I need to get another pan, at least another pan, maybe 2 more pans, to be able to do this quantity, because these ones didn't turn out as perfectly as I wanted to, because I wanted to do them as, it's for a sweater, so I wanted to do them all the same dye lot, but I didn't really have enough pans, so I kind of tried to just smush it in there, which ended up having some of them be lighter on the top and then darker on the bottom, but yeah, still okay. My friend said I thought it was pretty, so as long as she thinks it's pretty and she's willing to use it, she can just alternate skeins so that there's a dark one and a light one, so that doesn't really become a problem. And I'm pretty sure that she's planning on doing the Samara sweater, which is a design of mine, which is on Ravelry, which is siege stitch. So the siege stitch will kind of also help to, I think, make the differences in the yarn colors look a little better. But yeah, I definitely need more pans if I'm going to do more, if I'm going to get more consistent colors on that large a quantity. But yeah, I also did, this is the color that I did in the worsted, and instead of using the blue, I accidentally put a turquoise in there. So I have like one worsted skein that's kind of wonky, but I have to redo that one. But yeah, that is the floral onesie. Roughly kind of skein this back up. So that it doesn't look too bad. Kind of a perfectionist, and I tend to I'm also really bad at skating things up, so I tend to do it like 12 different times before I get it perfect that I like it. Yeah, I'll redo this because it turned out bad. But yeah, that's the first color. The second colorway I called Sweatsuit with Ears. So this is the outfit. It's a little pink sweater with dots, and the hood has these little ears, and it has this little turquoise fabric in there, and it has pants that go with it that are turquoise, and they have like green, a little bit of white, and a little bit of pops of brighter pink in there. So this is Sweatsuit with Ears, and Sweatsuit with Ears is, where is it? This one. So yeah, this is the one that inspired it, and this is what it turned out like. I also have this one reskeined, so it kind of shows you more of what it'll look like when it's knit up, because it's a little bit more, when you dye it, it kind of comes out in more chunky. When you reskein it, it kind of comes out more as it would if you put it into a cake or a ball. So yeah, I did this one for a friend too. So yeah, that is the Sweatsuit with Ears. I also did, it's the second one, this one, which is just onesie, solid onesie, I think I called it, which yeah, is just a solid teal color. I wanted to make sure that my collection had some variegateds and then some solids that went with it, some speckled. I kind of wanted to have a little bit of everything, so that if you want to get things that go well together. My originals are all dyed on MCN, and I really want to knit with them, but at the same time, I really want to keep them because they're the originals. But they're so nice. I need to buy more MCN. This one is gray, and it is called Cropped Sweater. Where is that? I'm completely unorganized today because all hell broke loose in my house. My son's been having nightmares about the germs, which I know is heartbreaking. And yeah, it makes me want to cry. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about it. But he woke up last night and said that the germs were in his room and that he saw them. And he ran screaming across the house and woke us all up. And then he wouldn't go back to bed. yeah, that's fun. So yeah, he's 4. Now having dreams about the germs, which he sees on TV as like that circle with like the spikes around it, like the COVID. Anyways, he thinks that they look like this big and that's how they look. But I had to try to explain to him that you can't see germs. So, whatever he saw, it was just a dream. And it was a rough night. But yes, this is a little cropped sweater, a cropped cardigan. So I called it cropped cardigan. And it's just gray. I wanted to have like a neutral base to mix colors with. So it is just a lovely shade of silvery gray. That's my 4th one. Just trying not to get these mixed up here. And then this one, which I called Yellow Dress. Where'd the yellow dress go? Here it is. My daughter, this is my daughter's favorite outfit. She loves yellow. This is quintessentially Ellery. She wore this in her 7-month photos 2 days ago. But yeah, this is her little yellow sundress. And in case you wanted to know, it comes with cute little underwear too, which is adorable. So yeah, I wanted to make like a bright yellow because we have a theory. Clearly, my daughter is 7 months old. She can't tell us what her favorite color is, but we have a theory it's yellow because she tends to gravitate to yellow. And whenever she plays with Alex's yellow or Lego blocks, like the big ones, not the little ones, I don't give my 7-month-old little Lego. She always wants to play with the yellow ones. So we think her favorite color is yellow. She just gravitates to yellow. So yeah, that's that one. Then, of course, every closet has to have shoes. So these are Ellery's first pair of shoes. So I called this color Tiny Shoes. And it is, where is it? Right here. So it is like it's a gray color with like a muted spots of purple, like this orangey pinky color, and light blue. So it looks like this. It's hard to see this one really. There's a better picture on my Instagram. This is kind of what it looks like. Where did it go? I have so much yarn here. I'm like getting lost in it. This is what it kind of looks like when you reskein it. So it kind of when it gets all mixed up instead of all splotchy. So yeah, that is my Tiny Shoes colorway, which I really love. It was the first one that I did successfully and I was really proud of. So it kind of has a special place in my heart. Other dyers that are out there watching this, do you guys get emotionally attached to your yarn? Or is this just because like I named it after my daughter and it reminds me of my daughter? I don't know. I am definitely emotionally attached to this yarn in a lot of ways. So the next one is called Floral Vest. And this is the little vest that my daughter owns that it was inspired after. So this one looks like this. It is a very, very light gray with yellow and pink and green speckles. Let's see. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. I might have to do a whole sweater out of this one. And then I have another solid. So this one is called Diaper Bag. And this is Ellery's diaper bag. It's actually heavy because it's packed to go. I always leave it packed to go with diapers and everything in it. And, all the things you need. So this is Ellery's diaper bag. And I did a color based on the color of her diaper bag, which is like a dusty rose color. It's really beautiful. I really love this diaper bag. I think for the sake of moms out there, if you're wondering what this diaper bag is, it is a skip hop diaper bag, and it's the vegan leather. You can buy it lots of different places. I think I got this one for Christmas, but you can get it lots of places. Amazon, Toys R Us. I don't know. Probably Carter's because Skip Hop is sold by Carter's. But yeah, this is diaper bag. And then this is on the MCN, and this is it reskeined on 75/25 wool nylon. So yeah, that is diaper bag. And I also had this one that was reskeined on the 75-25, the crop sweater. I have two more, I think. This is a little tie-dyed onesie that I got as a gift from a friend when Ellery was born. It's adorable and I love it. And I liked the idea of having like the white, something that was white with very muted colors on it. So yeah, this is tie-dyed onesie. So it's got a lot of white in it, but it's got a lot of muted blues and pinks and yellows, and some greens in there as well. So yeah, that's tie-dyed onesie. And this is done on, this was the last one that I did. So this is on the 75-25. And this is why, this is unrescanned. So this is what the 75-25 looks like when I rescan it. And this is what it looks like when it's not rescanned. See, it's just a little bit shorter, but I just find that you get a tighter, nicer twist when you rescan it. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, I guess. And I don't like the way this looks. You could just put a label on this and I don't know. There's something about this. I just don't like the way that it aesthetically looks. So I don't want to give it to people like that. So yeah, I've been rescanning them into a longer skein and doing that. But I haven't done this one yet, just because I wanted to keep it so that I can look back on it originally how it was dyed. So when I re-dye it, I can kind of have an idea of what the color looks like on there. Although I took pictures and stuff of everything, but I wanted to keep it intact, even though it looks like crap in its skein. Well, in my opinion, it's not that bad, I guess. Like, it's all right. I don't like the short, fat skeins. I like the taller, skinnier ones. I'm not sure why. So yeah, and last but not least, possibly lost. No, I found it. Is Tiny Sock, which is a little pair of socks that Ellery's aunt and uncle bought for her. They are pink and white, and they have a little bit of gold sparkle in here. So you can see it's like a crown with like sparkles in it. So I decided to do my sample for this one on Selena so that it has the sparkle, which is really hard to see in the pictures online, but it is really sparkly in person. Like, so basically it is a baby pink. And I did this one on sparkle. I've also done others. The one I did for my sweater isn't on sparkle. It's just on worsted 75-25, I think. Or no, 100% superwash, I think. But yeah, this is Tiny Sock on Selena. And that is all 10 colors of my collection. And if you want to see better pictures that are more color accurate, they are all on Instagram, on my Instagram account, if you want to see those. And eventually they'll all be on my Etsy page when I start it. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't decided whether I'm going to start my own webpage or I'm going to do Etsy, but I'll decide that later. That's New Year stuff. In order to be able to sell yarn in an Etsy store, you have to actually be able to make the yarn first. So that's where I'm starting, practicing making yarn. I wanted to show you guys some of the ones that didn't make the cut. So I definitely did a lot of other ones that didn't necessarily make the cut for various reasons. So I can show you those and tell you the stories behind them because they're kind of funny. So this was what I had in mind for the diaper bag colorway. I wanted to get it to like that dusty pink color. So originally, this is how it turned out. And in fact, the original was like bright pink, and then this has been over dyed. So I did it bright pink in the original, and then I over dyed it to make it look like this. And even after I over dyed it, it's still nowhere near what I wanted it to be like. So yeah, this one's kind of a dud. But of course, it's still pretty, and I'm sure someone might want it. If you're interested in it, let me know. If this color pink floats your boat. It just wasn't, it's pretty, it just wasn't what I was looking for. See, it's like definitely not the right color. So then I tried again. When I tried again, I got more of a darker. Like it's very different. If it's very subtle, but I wanted like there's a lot of darker spots in this, and I wanted kind of that more of that lighter color. So then I kind of toned it down a bit before I finalized the colorway. So yeah, this is also available. It's basically just a darker version of this. It's on MCN. And it's beautiful. And I love it. I should put this on my hair instead of this like headband that I have going on. I think this is prettier. Hold on. I think I can actually do this. I got like a zip tie right here. Watch this. I'm going to make a yarn crown right now. Yarn crown headband for my hair. With a zip tie. Because I'm that fashion forward. In case anybody wants to know, it is a reusable zip tie. So I can't take it off without having to cut it off. There. How's that look? I think this is the style. I think I should definitely like wear this to like my son's like gymnastics practice or something and see how people look at me. But yeah, this was an original version of that. There's also an original version of the solid onesie, which was way darker than I wanted it. So yeah, I also toned that one down a little bit. This one's kind of got a white spot in it, a lighter spot there where my tie was, but yeah. Yeah, originally when I started making, I made these skeins myself from cones, and I was tying my ties too tight and they were leaving white marks, but I've since fixed that problem because nobody wants a random white spot in their yarn unless it's supposed to be there. So yeah, I've since fixed that problem. These are some of my original ones that I did on the MCN, but yeah, that is an original color that I did. And then I have the crazy ones. This is one that I tried to do, and it's actually super pretty. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram, which it's hard to see on here, but it's like there's yellows and greens and some really dark blacks and some pinks. It's really cool, actually. I really love it. I'm going to make something out of it for sure. But it didn't really go with what I was going with, and it wasn't what I intended it to be. So it didn't quite make the cut, and I don't think I could ever recreate it because I'm not really sure how I got this in the first place. It was completely not what I was going for. I was going for speckles, and this was not speckles. But yeah, it's still pretty. It's still beautiful. I really love it. I originally tried to do one that was like a rainbow, and it's kind of pretty. It does have the rainbow for sure. But it was supposed to be like, my daughter has this shirt that has, it's a rainbow shirt, but the rainbow colors aren't like the normal rainbow colors. They're kind of like a more muted, like dusty pink, like the pinks are more of a dusty pink. And anyways, I tried to make something like that, and then it just turned out like a normal rainbow. So it didn't really go with what I was going for here. So plus, yeah, it just turned out like this. But anyways, I'm sure someone would love to make something out of this. If you're interested, let me know, because yeah, it was just one that never ended up in the collection because I didn't like how it looked. And I also I brought this down. This was one of the ones that I tried to recreate. This is a little one jumpsuit. That's my daughter's that she wears, and it's got yellow and pink and purple and white. So I did try to have that one in the collection because I thought it needed a little bit more yellow. And this is what I got, which of course, when you mix yellow and pink and yellow and purple, you don't get You get, yeah. So I didn't like, not that I don't like it. I think it's really pretty. It's got some purples and some pinks, but it's mostly orangey. It's more orangey than I wanted it to be, and there's definitely lots of brown still in there from where the purple and yellow turned brown. But yeah, it's still pretty. So if anybody's interested in it, here it is in all its glory. I should post pictures of these. Anyway, I'll scan them up and put labels on them and take pictures of them and put them on my Instagram. But yeah, that was one that was a fail. It didn't turn out like I wanted it to. It didn't turn out like my vision. So this was definitely a fail. But yeah, those were kind of my fails. Well, I shouldn't say fails. They're not fails. They're still beautiful. They're just not what I wanted and not what I was going for what I was trying to do. I'm going to take this off my head now. But yeah, that is my collection and what I've been working on in the last couple weeks. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of dyeing because I have one steamer pan and then 3 little steamer pans, and then I have 2 pots. And they're not that big. So yeah, my progress is pretty slow. I don't really have a huge ability to do a lot fast yet, but I'm sure that right now I'm kind of just bartering with friends for supplies. So instead of selling yarn, I'm kind of bartering for stuff. But yeah, that is all of the yarn that I've been working on in the last couple weeks, which is a lot. Like, that's a lot of yarn. I think that's probably more yarn than I could probably knit in 10 years. Well, no, about 10 years. 3 years? Probably take me more than 3 years to knit all that yarn. Plus, I can show you this because it's right here. This is my worsted skeins, which I was saying. I dyed all my colorways on worsted yarn. Oh, there it is. There's my, see, this is how it's supposed to look, and this turquoise is not supposed to be there. So yeah, I have to re-dye that one because that's not going to be an accurate representation of the colorway. That one's kind of missed. But yeah, these are all my worsted skeins that I have dyed up in every colorway. So I'm going to cake those up, and this is what's going to be samples and 2 sweaters. So that's 1,000 grams of yarn. Right? Yeah, 10. Yeah, 1,000 grams of yarn. That's a lot of yarn. They're beautiful though. I love them, and I think they go really well together. I think there's enough contrast that there's still like differences. They're not all the same, but at the same time, they all kind of go really well together and kind of have similar colorways, and I really love them. But yeah, that is my winter plan, I guess. Knit a couple of sweaters and some swatches and a scarf for my son. Work on the design that I'm working on. But yeah, that's where I'm going. Just have yarn everywhere. It's like not even, it's all still on like the zip ties. Like, look at all these zip ties. I really should start like scanning it up or doing something with it other than just leaving it on the zip ties and hanging it places on things. But I think that is all that I had to show you guys this week. This has been very yarn heavy and not very knitting heavy. But like I said, I did knit a lot. I just knit the same sweater twice. So hopefully I will have more to show you as far as finished knitting next time. I may even tackle some crochet. I may even do some crochet squares. Like I seen a dyer before that had a little knitted square and a little crochet square out of the colorways that people could see how they knit up and how they crochet up. So I may learn to crochet at some point. I kind of know the basics, but I can't really do it very well. It's been a lot of years since I've done it, but yeah, I may even do some crocheting. So I think I hear my baby fussing. So I'm going to go check on her and hope to God that tonight I can get some sleep and my son doesn't have any more nightmares about germs. And that hopefully the next couple of weeks go really well. Hopefully the smoke goes away. That would be nice. I don't like the smokiness. And hopefully the nice weather stays, though, because it's been really warm for October. But yeah, I guess I will see you guys in another episode in 2 weeks. I hope you guys are doing great, and I will talk to you later.